All right, up till now, I have taken this plaster mold and this other plaster mold for the body and the handle to the mug. I have filled it with slip, waited about 20 minutes, poured it out, waited about another 40 minutes, and as you can see, it left a thin shell behind. So now we will demold and attach the handle. This mold is 5 parts for the body and 3 parts for the handle. The body has 4 side parts. 2 of them are identical. One of them has these spots for the handle attachment. And then the other side is the exact same as the opposite side patterning, but doesn't have a spot for the handle. The handle itself is 3 pieces, which is new this year because I wanted to get texture on the handle like I showed in my last video. So the way that I attach my handles is first, we need to remove the sprue here. So you can see that the handle is cast. It has these open cavities where it's going to attach, but it has this extra clay called a sprue. And the easiest way to remove this is to leave it in the mold, one side. So make those cuts right at the seam here. Make these other cuts. Then I will pull it out of that mold and I will put it into the other side. Then we'll repeat those same 2 cuts on each side of the handle. 1, and 2, and 2. That gives us the handle itself, like so. I do a little bit of scraping right here on the top. On the inside of the handle, there's a little flashing that gets removed now. Then just to make sure, flat surfaces here. And then I just have a container full of the same casting slip. Slip casting is really interesting because as long as the body and the handle are the same dryness, you do not need to score anything, at least with my casting slip and a couple others that I've used. So I'm just going to put a bead of that slip right on that handle connection. And then shake it off a bit. I connect the top first. Make sure everything is lined up right on that landing pad that we made for the handle. And then pick the whole thing up. Make sure that the bottom is attached, like so. Make sure it's a strong seal. There is an air pocket inside of the handle here, but in all the mugs that we have fired, it has never been a problem. This problem is a lot more complicated than people think, and there's a lot more wiggle room than people think in certain cases because it is slip cast and because the attachment point is so big versus the size of the air cavity. Even though we are going to bisque fire this very quickly, we will not have any problems with those voids, and it makes it a lot lighter overall than if they were solid. And there is a finished mug. This is my first big design of this year. I'm really happy with it. The finished version feels really great in your hand. So there it is, a finished mug, handle attached, ready to dry. Once it dries, it'll get cleaned up with a sponge and a scalpel. This flashing will get cleared off, and then we will either bisque it or spray underglaze on top of it and then bisque it. And then once it is bisque fired, it'll get dipped in glaze or multiple glazes and then fired again to cone 10, either an oxidation or reduction. And then it'll come out of the kiln and be ready to put online and ready to go. Thanks for watching.